What if I told you the reason you are suffering right now is not what people think? What if your pain is not punishment, but a hidden test you cannot see? There was a man in the Bible who did everything right, yet everything went wrong. And what happened to him will change the way you see your suffering forever. His name is Daniel. Daniel was a young man taken far away from his home when his land was destroyed and everything he knew was taken from him. He did not choose the pain. He entered a foreign kingdom as a prisoner with no freedom and no voice. Years passed, and even though life was hard, Daniel chose to stay faithful to God instead of following the pressure around him. People watched him, some hated him, but there was nothing they could find wrong in his life. Then one day, everything changed. Suddenly a law was made that no one should pray to any god except the king. Daniel knew this was a trap, but he did not stop praying because his faith was stronger than his fear. He went to his room, opened his window, and prayed like he always did, as if nothing could silence him. But this time it was different. Soldiers were watching him, and they caught him in the act of praying to God. He was arrested and brought before the king, and even though the king liked Daniel, he could not change the law. Daniel was sentenced to be thrown into a lion's den for doing what was right. That night must have been filled with fear, but Daniel did not lose his faith even when he was dropped into the deep dark pit, surrounded by lions waiting in silence. But something strange happened. The lions did not touch him. The Bible says God sent his protection, and Daniel slept safely in the den, while others thought he would be dead by morning. When the king came early the next day, he called out in fear, but Daniel answered from inside the pit alive and unharmed. In that moment, everyone realized that God had not abandoned him. Daniel was brought out, and his enemies were shocked, because what was meant to destroy him became the reason for his promotion. He was lifted to a higher position and respected in the kingdom because God was with him through every moment of suffering. And this is the message you must never forget. Sometimes your suffering is not because you are doing something wrong, but because you are standing right in a world that is wrong. Even when it feels like God is silent, He is still writing your story, and your ending will not be death, it will be deliverance. Many people ask, why am I suffering when I did nothing wrong? That is why Bible shows us the story of Daniel. Daniel was taken from his home as a young boy. He lost his land, his freedom, and everything familiar. In a foreign kingdom, he was pressured to change who he was. But Daniel chose to stay faithful to God. Even when a law was signed that made prayer illegal, Daniel still prayed. Thank you for staying with me till the end of this story. If this touched your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Here on World Bible Stories, we bring you powerful stories like this every time. See you in the next story.